Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I always say that stopping drinking alcohol is truly the first step. It's what we do after that that makes all of the difference. But I know that a lot of you guys don't really know what to do next. So what I'm going to do for you in this video is really give you 3 things to focus on, or 3 questions to ask yourself that's going to give you A, a bunch of clarity, but also B, a lot more certainty on your decision to be a non-drinker and follow this path. So I do believe that this video, it's going to be action oriented. You're going to have a lot of things to do. There's going to be things to write down, books that you might want to read and stuff like that. So I think this video is going to help a lot of you guys, so do make sure to watch the entire thing. And just before we actually get into the video itself, if you want my personal help stopping drinking and you want to come into the Sober Clear program, where we use first principles thinking to create a paradigm where you see alcohol for what it is, and then we focus on the future with coaching and engagement in the community and stuff like that, then make sure to click the link in the description. There'll be a short video for you to watch that outlines the program and how I work with people, and after you've watched that video, you can then book a call with me and we can actually see if this program may be good for you. So if you want more details on that, just click the link in the description. Now, I know that a lot of people that watch this channel, you might not be open-minded enough for a lot of these concepts. It might sound a little bit woo-woo, a little bit weird, but all I'm trying to do on this channel is share how I stopped drinking, like what things that I did that really led me to not wanting to drink alcohol anymore, but also, sticking on this journey for over 3 years now. So whilst these concepts might not be for everybody, I think a lot of you guys will find immense value in some of this stuff. But I want to just imagine for a second that you've kind of already solved the alcohol issue, right? You've used first principles thinking, or you found another system, another program, you've read something. I want to just presume that you've solved the alcohol problem. And it's, what do you do from that point? Like from the first day that you've decided to stop drinking, then what? That's kind of what I'm going to be covering in this video. And the first thing to really question and really ask yourself is, what do I really want, right? It's the big question of what. And I believe that this is where it all starts. It starts in deciding what it is that you want. Now, the problem here is that if you go to the average person in the street and say, what's your big goal? Like, what are you working on at the moment? What do you want out of life? Most people that we meet have got no idea. They just kind of let life happen to them. They never sit down, they never think, they never say, what are my goals? Like, what's my ambition? And it's very hard to answer this question, like, what do I want? So what I'm actually going to do for you is I'm going to give you a few tools and a few resources and a few ideas that you can start implementing right now to answer this first question. Because when we know what it is that we want, that's when everything else can happen, right? That's when we can start making better plans and really acting and doing things and going towards that better future. But it all starts with the question of, what do I want? Now, one great resource that you could use when you're figuring out what it is that you want is a book called Goals by Brian Tracy. Now, listen, I guess this would be kind of classed as like self-help literature, which I know a lot of people are just like, no chance, I'm not reading anything like that. But if you are lacking clarity on what you want, this book can just give you a ton of ideas. The book asks like a lot of big questions, and it will start giving you a lot of ideas and really start making you think a bit bigger. But I think that book can be a great resource to help you figure out what it is that you want. Now, another thing that you could do is you could create a vision board. Again, I know a lot of people are just going to be like, dude, Leon, no chance am I doing that. But this can help such a massive amount, because what you're basically forcing yourself to do is to sit down and think about what you want, and then get images and then put it into something like collage or something like that. You could get pictures of like your dream body, or the places that you want to live, the car that you want to drive, the way that you want to dress. You could get like pictures of all of this stuff and really start to just create some kind of like ideal that you want to go towards. Do I think that a vision board is going to just kind of like magically come into your life with no action at all? Absolutely not. But what I think can happen when you start creating a vision board is, number one, is you're forcing yourself to think of what it is that you want, but then you're creating like a document or something that you're going to have that you can then review on a daily basis, which keeps you motivated, it keeps you inspired, and it keeps reminding you of what it is that you're going towards. And I think that can be very, very helpful. The third thing that you might want to do, and this is something that you can do right now, you can actually pause the video and do this, but it's to write a 5-year plan. Write about what you want your life to look like in 5 years from now. What would you be doing for work? Who would you be with? What would you be spending your time doing? What would a day look like for you in 5 years' time? And you can start writing this down and start writing about just the kind of achievements and things that you'd be doing with your time. That can also be really fun. But really, the one thing that really did it for me was a book called Reality Transurfing. And what this book taught me to do was to visualize something called slides. And again, listen, just bear with me. I know some of you guys would just be like, visualization, Leon's lost it, but just bear with me. Now, you might have read some stuff out there that says, all you've got to do to get things in life is visualize it, see it, and then it will materialize. And I think this is just a load of hocus pocus. I think it's nonsense because nothing happens without action. But reality transurfing taught me a completely different way to do things. So instead of, say, for example, visualizing, money in the bank account or a car or a relationship or something like that, what you do is you visualize what you'd be doing when you kind of have that. Like, what would your day-to-day life look like? So, for example, let's say, you're a personal trainer and your goal is, to make, I don't know, a six-figure business as a personal trainer. So instead of visualizing, $10,000 a month going into a bank account, what you do is you play the mental slide of what you'd be doing as that person. So, for example, you might be waking up at a certain time and then going to manage some kind of advertising and then doing some sort of sales activity and then training your clients and then making some posts. And what you do is you visualize going through the motion of what it would be like once you had achieved the goal. Now, this has been something that's been extremely helpful to me while I've been creating SoberClear. What I did is I would visualize who I had to be and what I'd be doing when SoberClear was successful. So I would do things like, I would visualize myself like waking up early, good nutrition, exercising, and then I'd visualize myself like talking to people that were interested in the program. I'd visualize myself making these videos, living in these nice places. I'd visualize myself, connecting with other entrepreneurs and visualize myself then helping clients and doing customer interviews. And I would basically play this mental slide of doing all of this stuff. And listen, you might just think like, oh, this is just not for me, but I'm telling you, it works. It really worked for me. Like, the concepts in that book changed my life in such a humongous way. I'm actually rereading that book right now because it's one of those books that I don't want to read again and again and again. And the book is very long and there's a lot of stuff that isn't that good, but then there are a few key concepts in that book that just blew me away. And when it comes to figuring out what you want, that book was just breathtaking because it just got me thinking that there are so many possibilities out there. There are so many different ways and so many different things that I could do. And I don't know, I absolutely love that book. So there are a few things to try when you're figuring out what you want. Brian Tracy goals, creating a vision board, writing that 5-year plan, and you may also want to read the book Reality Transurfing. Now, the second big question to ask yourself, and this is still difficult to do, but probably a little bit easier than asking like what it is that you actually want. But the second thing to ask yourself is why? Like, why do I want to do this stuff? Why do I want to stop drinking? And why do I want to go towards this better life for myself? And what I would recommend doing right now, again, you can pause the video, is getting a list of just like 10 to 20 motivations, writing down 10 to 20 reasons why you were committed to A, not drinking, and why you were committed to really going after it and crushing your goals and doing the things that you want to do. And when you start doing this, this is when you can start to find some of the biggest motivators that you'll ever find. And I urge you to come up with as many reasons as you can. If you can go over 20, why not? No harm at all. Like, a big thing for me, like a big motivator for me, is being able to take care of my family. Like, I love my family. My family were there for me when I had difficult times, and I'm just blessed to have people that love me in my life. But now that I'm older, I've matured, I'm no longer living that chaotic lifestyle. I don't need bailing out or anything like that. And I've changed, I've grown as a person. I'm now able to go back and help those people and take care of them. And now, certain people are getting older and they need help financially. I'm able to do that. And for me, that is a huge motivator. I won't give up because I know that other people rely on me. My family rely on me. My girlfriend relies on me. There are a lot of people that rely on me. But this is a motivator of mine. Like, I want to be able to take care of people that I love. And maybe that's a huge motivator for you as well. Maybe you want to step up in your relationship with your significant other. Maybe you want to lead your children better, just help your family more. And you want to start writing these ideas down. Write down these motivations. Have them in a place where you can review them on a daily basis. Like, another big motivator for me is reaching this potential. Like, the reason why I work so much and I don't want to drink alcohol ever again is because I want to get to the end of my life and look back and say, I just went for it. Like, I really lived my life on the edge. I just pushed it to the limit. And my fear is that I look back and I didn't go there. I didn't go to the edge. And that's another big motivator for me. Maybe that's a motivator for you. And I just know that what I want and why I want it, if I was to touch alcohol, all of that stuff goes away. All of those motivators, all of the things that I want will just disappear in an instant. And knowing that and being okay with that, but then committing to this non-drinking lifestyle and being all in, that's what it's all about, that makes all the difference. But this leads me to the third and final question that you must ask yourself after stopping drinking. And it's, who do I need to be to get all of this stuff? Because the person that you are right now will never achieve your dream. You will never get the things that you want as the person that you are right now. You've got to evolve, you've got to grow, you've got to change, and you've got to become somebody completely different than who you are right now. And this is where things get really, really awesome. This is something that we do in the Sober Clear program, where we design who you need to be next. And what you want to do is you want to design the character, the version of you, who they'd be, how they dress, what they'd be like, what kind of activities they do, good habits they'd have, what bad habits they wouldn't have that they might have now. And you've got to design the version of you that will effortlessly achieve all the things that you want. Like, I knew that in my life I had to be somebody that was able to come up with lots of content, lots of ideas, be able to connect with people, share my story, be confident, be bold. I would need to learn skills very, very quickly. I had to design this version of me that would achieve the dream. And very early on in my journey, I actually did this in another program, and it changed my life forever. It was one of the best things I ever did, because now I realized that the person I am right now is not good enough, right? I've got to change, I've got to grow, and I had to design this version of me that would just do all the things that I wanted. So it's just another big question to ask yourself. Who do I need to become? And again, you could write this down, you can create some kind of document where you really put this out in detail and just design the next version of you. You can get pictures for inspiration and just think about who it is that you will need to become to achieve what it is that you want. Anyway guys, like I said, if you want my help stopping drinking, make sure to click the link in the description. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.